Welcome back, Anxious Gamers, to another video game-filled episode. We are your hosts. I'm Kris.
And I'm Josh.
Usually we kick things off with gaming news, but we're going to change it this week. It's been kind of slow with gaming news this week. So we're going to talk about a mental health article. We're going to jump into games that we're currently playing this week. And then, something new, our main topic, we're going to do a retro review of Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo with gameplay. So, the mental health article is from Science Daily. Post-traumatic stress disorder, alleviating flashbacks by playing Tetris. Josh found this article. Kick it off.
I thought this was a really interesting thing. So the gist of it is that they took 20, combat veterans that all had PTSD to do with combat. And they all had like visual flashbacks. And after therapy, 10 of them were asked to play Tetris after therapy. And they found that those who played Tetris had the flashbacks less than those that didn't, which is just a really interesting thing because they actually found out in an earlier experiment that people who watched horror movies and then played Tetris had less visual flashback issues as those that did not.
Sounds like we need to play some more Tetris.
I mean, I'm curious what it is about Tetris. They're still trying to figure out exactly why this is happening. But it has, like, their hypothesis is that it has to do with like visuospatial processing in the brain. And Tetris apparently activates it in the same way that like a traumatic memory would. So Tetris keeps the brain from ever forming, I guess, that traumatic flashback from whatever happened.
Interesting.
So like you can just like lock it up with Tetris and get rid of all the trauma. Super weird.
Very weird. And Tetris, I think most people that are listening and checking us out, we've all probably played Tetris at some point, but it's the most focused game. You're so zoned in, making sure each block fits perfectly. I mean, yeah, it would definitely zone you out a bit.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's also responsible for the fall of the Soviet Union. So there's that. Did you see the Tetris movie?
Never saw the Tetris movie, no.
Okay, I would go watch the Tetris movie. It's pretty good.
Where might I find this Tetris movie?
That is on Apple TV.
All right.
And it's, if you look up the story, it's actually pretty accurate to what really happened. There really was, like, the KGB was involved. Tetris like played into the downfall of the Soviet Union.
Tetris, yay.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to read this full article, check out Science Daily, and we will post a link to it in the description.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what we're currently playing this week. What are you playing this week?
So, two things.
Mm-hmm.
2.5. The first one is Final Fantasy 16. I did finish it. And in spite of me saying that I'm not a completionist in any way, this game turned me into a little bit of one. I did all side quests, all hunts. I did not get all trophies. I'm not a trophy hunter.
Mm-hmm.
It bugged me that there were little yellow dots like, hey, you have new things. So something about the way that Final Fantasy 16 did it, and I think it was the cadence that it handed you these. It was never overwhelming. It was always like 3 to 4 at a time, and as you progress through the game. But now I'm a little tempted to play New Game Plus.
That's what I was just about to ask. Is it a game that you think you would just instantly go back and replay, or want to take some time off from it?
I think I'm going to take some time off from it. I have some other stuff in the backlog. But I do want to go back because New Game Plus, it's called Final Fantasy Mode, and it unlocks level scaling to 100. I'm 48 right now. There's some new gear that's not in the base game, and harder enemies, and just some other things. Because by the end of it, really, the fighting was not much of a challenge. Once you kind of get your specific power stack and your your timing and everything. I think it stopped being a challenge right around level 40. And then it just became like a time game. Good game though. I really highly recommend it. The story made me tear up a little at the end. I'll admit that.
Every Final Fantasy just
Yeah.
hits the heart.
Not everyone. Not everyone.
Which
A
ones
lot
don't?
of them. Which ones don't?
Mm-hmm.
10, 2, 12, 13. I don't think there's a reason to cry in 14. I don't remember 15 making me cry. The story was too convoluted.
15 was interesting.
I wasn't sure what was happening half the time. I may have teared up though. I'll have to go back and like
It was the boy band music that made you cry.
It was definitely that. That's the same reason I cried for 10-2 was the girl band music.
What other game are you playing?
The other one is Dave the Diver.
Okay.
Have you heard about this one?
What is this? No.
Okay. So it's a made by a Korean company. And I'm going to have a hard time explaining Dave the Diver. The core gameplay of Dave the Diver is you play Dave, this like overweight guy with a goatee, and you get roped into managing a sushi shop next to a small like bay inlet thing called the Blue Hole. And this blue hole has changing topography and geography every time you dive. And it has types of fish from all over the world in this blue hole. And you catch fish and you take them back to your sushi shop and you sell fresh sushi.
Sounds relaxing.
In a way that it is, but there's a lot more to it to that. You end up with like a whole storyline and an underwater people's mystery thing. Their sharks are terrifying. There's boss fights.
What is this on?
It's on Steam for sure. I'm not sure what else it's on. Yeah, so right now it's PC only.
Okay. Does it look like a game that would probably come to consoles at some point?
I would imagine it's built on Unity, and
okay.
I think it has controller support.
Okay.
But it's currently sitting at a 10 out of 10 on Steam.
Wow.
So, but it's very like Japanese anime inspired. Mm-hmm. And my favorite thing, I'm going to post a clip here. I'm just going to make an intermission. This is what the cutscenes look like on this game. But it has like full-on anime cutscenes, and it's all really well animated.
I'll have to check that out if it comes over to console. That's super cool.
That one may run on your Mac. Actually, it's not super graphically heavy.
Oh, okay.
Because it's pixel art.
For those of you listening, I don't have a Steam account, and I don't Steam game or PC game.
You don't have a Steam account at all?
Mm-mm.
Interesting.
Just never really been interested into it because most of the Steam games that I play do come over to Switch at some point.
Well, we're gonna have to change that.
Maybe we will see. I have a huge backlog. Playing anything else, or it was just those two, right?
It's really been those two. A little bit of a Tetris-like game on my phone, some Minecraft, some Roblox with the kids. Yeah, what are you up to?
5 games.
5?
I just wanted to play some other games. So kicking things off, Tears of the Kingdom. Just wandering, spinning in circles, doing all kinds of random things. This is the first Zelda that's made me rage quit for some, like, it's been some time since the last Zelda made me rage quit. I think the last one was Skyward Sword with the horrible motion controls. But yeah, really enjoying Tears of the Kingdom. It's definitely grown on me more since I've been finding the tears now, understanding the story, and I've really enjoyed the boss fights and
those are really good.
What I really like about the temples are you were right in a few episodes ago where they all have the same mechanic, but it's not like the Divine Beast where they all felt the same.
Right.
these actually have something that really ties into
They have a
the
theme.
temple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like when I went to the water temple, I was so excited. I was like, another water temple, let's go.
Yep. And one of the things that I had mentioned was that getting to the temple was almost as much a part of the temple as the temple itself. And the way that you get to the temple is the part that is very different.
This is a Zelda I think I'm going to replay as soon as I beat.
We'll see. I don't know if you're going to beat it.
Oh, I'm going to beat it. I just like taking my time
7
with
years.
Young
Link will be adult Link by the time you're done.
So I'm not looking anything up with this game. That's something I've noticed a lot of people that have I don't know if you did, but a lot of people that have finished it early looked up the whole game, looked up the cutscenes. They were spoiled by everything.
No, I think I don't think I looked up anything.
Mm-hmm. The one mistake that I made with Breath of the Wild that I'm trying not to make with Tears of the Kingdom is rushing it. I'm really taking in everything Hyrule, the depths, the skies have to offer. Last episode, I was rage quitting because I don't know, it was a rough week mentally and physically. But this week, it's much better. Enjoying it. So, hopping over to other games I'm playing Skyrim. My wife is watching Critical Role. I wanted to get into some more dungeon crawlers, so I revisited Skyrim. And nice. Diablo 3. I'm about to finish Diablo 3, actually. I've been playing that game for 2 years now, so I'm halfway through it. Well, I'm over halfway. I've been playing online with her and my wife and my uncle.
Nice.
Metroid Prime Remastered, and I picked up Persona 5 Royal, and oh my god, what a weird game.
I love
so
it.
Weird.
I love it. It is super weird, but it's so stylish at the same time.
It's a game I never in my life thought I'd get into, and I'm a huge RPG guy, and I'm like, this sucks, but I love it.
I actually need to go back to that. I forgot, because I was playing that one when Tears of the Kingdom came out. Mm-hmm. So obviously,
I remember.
I had to jump ship and go play TOTK. But I need to finish Final Fantasy VII Remake and Persona 5.
It's a great game, but it's just one of those games where I'm playing it and I'm just wondering why am I doing this? It's just so different.
Yeah.
But I think that's why a lot of people enjoyed it. It's something new, something that hasn't really, I mean, some past games that Atlas has made are similar, but this is just like its own. It's
definitely its own thing.
It's not nowhere near the same, but that's how I felt with Bayonetta. Bayonetta was similar to Devil May Cry, but once again, a game that was just, whoa, you're a witch, hack and slash, guns on your high heels. So weird, but it worked, and it's a fun game series.
Yeah.
So, highly recommend those. Okay, that's what we're playing this week. We're jumping over to our main topic, Donkey Kong Country, a retro review. Does it hold up? Let's find out. Let's do some gameplay.
Yep. So first, I want to point out the graphics and this intro song.
It's fire.
It's one of the best things of all time.
Just Donkey Kong in general, his raps, even the DK64 rap gets me going. We play that for my daughter sometimes in the morning.
Nice.
So, Donkey Kong Country.
1994.
Did you first play this on Super Nintendo?
I did. So,
okay.
My sister got a Super Nintendo for Christmas. Mm-hmm. I was, I don't know, 3 or 4, something like that. So I didn't really know what was going on, but she's 7 years older than me, so this was her thing. And it's funny because my nephew has started playing some of the older games, and he's finding out how much of an OG gamer my sister is. She's like, do you know if you throw a barrel right there, it'll pop open a secret tunnel? And he's like, how do you know all of this? She's like, you don't understand how many games, like how much we played these games as kids.
Yeah. I'm very rusty. I used to know all the secrets and tricks and stuff, but it's been a while since I've played this. I first discovered Donkey Kong Country actually when they ported it to the Game Boy Color. Yeah.
I didn't even know they did port it to the Game Boy Color.
They ported it. They took this 16-bit game and got it on to the Game Boy Color.
That's almost impressive, actually.
And I got it for my birthday.
Nice.
My grandma surprised me with it, and this is always my favorite part, going into his hut, getting the balloon. So, I felt so cool being like, oh my god, I went in and found that.
One of my favorite things about Donkey Kong Country, it's full of secrets.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost seems like games used to be more full of secrets than they are now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think back to like the original Legend of Zelda. Oh. I'm getting used.
It's a good start.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting used to the controls. Don't judge me.
It's okay. We actually game, guys. It's all right. All right.
You're about to find out that all we do is talk about them.
Yeah, I love Rare games, and I was one of the non-supporters of when Microsoft bought Rare, because I instantly knew Microsoft was going to do a horrible job, and I wish Nintendo would have bought Rare. I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah.
But my favorite Rare game has to be Banjo-Kazooie. That was the... sorry, I get so sidetracked. Oh my god!
Are you sure you're gonna be able?
I'm just. I'm
be able to talk and play at the
stuff.
same time.
Yes. So going back to what I was talking about, Banjo-Kazooie is my favorite Rare game, and when they made Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, I was like, oh god, Rare's are in.
Yeah.
But I wish Nintendo would have bought Rare, because they've done a few things. I mean, they have Sea of Thieves. They brought back Killer Instinct, Battletoads. They did the Rare collection on Xbox, but it just doesn't feel the same. Like, I want a new Conkers game. I want Perfect Dark to come out, which they just said. Phil Spencer said. I think I just died.
Did you just run off a cliff?
I did. I couldn't see. These graphics. It's not 60 FPS. No, I'm kidding. I would love to see some new Rare games go, though. I mean, it was exciting to see GoldenEye come over, and obviously Banjo-Kazooie being in Smash. And...
I keep missing the K. I think it's because I'm using the control stick and not the D-pad.
I didn't even think about it. I have the Super Nintendo online controller.
Yeah.
So I should have broke that out. Currently using the Tears of the Kingdom Pro controller.
Nice. Oh, it came in?
Yeah, it came in.
Nice.
I'll hold it up to the cameras. Yeah. Look at that.
She's a beaut.
She is.
I'm so bummed I had to cancel all my amiibos. Well, I say both of them.
My Bokoblin or Bokoblin, whatever, is delayed.
That's why I had to cancel it. It was like, it's gonna be here. We don't know when. So I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna cancel those. And then
ooh,
I feel like there's supposed to be a tire there. I don't remember how to get to it though. Maybe it's here.
Yeah.
Alright, let me see if I can get it. There it is.
Ooh, sweet.
I don't remember what you do with it.
So, for those of you listening, you can play these games online, 2-player, if you have the Switch online. You could also run through games like Ocarina of Time, 2-player. You just have to switch the player in between.
In the
So
menu,
that's so
you can
cool.
change who has control. I switched to you to get the G.
The G, all right.
Diddy jumps higher.
Can't you jump up here?
Yeah,
Yep.
but...
Boom. All right. Yay. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Teamwork.
All right.
You
Player
know,
one.
Cranky.
Let's go. Aquatic Ambience is my favorite. And we found out something which we have to throw this in the episode. And I don't know if anybody else on YouTube has done this. The Aquatic Ambience song in Donkey Kong Country, if you listen to it closely, there's a part that's actually the shrine theme in Breath of the Wild. So... But yeah, in the Aquatic Ambience, it's like do 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 do, and that's the shrine theme. So,
Nice.
Oh. All right. There we go. Oh no. Oh god. Doom.
Do you remember
All
the
right.
little weird banana gopher boss?
Yes, I do.
That, and then the second boss, I believe, is like this little I don't know, vulture bird thing. When I was a kid, I used to think it was hilarious to imitate. Oh, there's a cave right there.
Oh, there
He
it
opened
is.
it.
Eyesight's
To imitate that
getting
little
worse.
bird, and I would like stick my head out and go like the bird does when
That's
you kill it.
hilarious. Did I miss it? Or no? There are a few. Ugh. Oh my goodness. I don't know how I'm managing to do this. It's been forever.
That was pretty good.
Sweet. Now, the real question is, did you play Donkey Kong 64?
Yes.
What did you think of it?
Honestly, my favorite part of Donkey Kong 64 was playing the OG Donkey Kong arcade game inside of it.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't bad. I never finished it. I feel like it was ridiculously long, though.
Yeah, I found it at a pawn shop. One of my friends let me borrow it, and I could never find it anywhere to buy. And I went to a pawn shop to look at old guitars with my dad, and saw the yellow cartridge and just instantly knew what it was. I bought it. I do like the music in Donkey Kong 64 as well.
Here's.
Really curious when they're gonna port that over.
Oh, because it's not on Switch Online, is it? I wonder if it's tied up in Rare. But I mean, this one's on here,
Yeah,
so I don't know why.
all three of them are on here. 1,
Yeah.
2, and 3. This one's my favorite. Just the music, man. It's so good.
This is one of the only somehow not annoying
Water levels.
water levels.
Did you play Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii?
I did not.
Very good game. Also, Tropical Freeze is super good too. And
Right.
if you're a fan of Donkey Kong, you should also check out Yooka-Laylee. Yooka-Laylee is very similar to Banjo-Kazooie, and there's Yooka-Laylee in the Impossible Lair, which is a 2D version of Yooka-Laylee. It's a new game in the series, and it plays just like Donkey Kong Country.
I
It's
really
super
wanted to like it. I had a hard time with it.
cool. Yeah, they've done a ton of updates now, and fixed a lot of the complaints. So.
Oh, really?
That's why I waited for the Switch version. The Switch version had all of that already. Like everything that was wrong with the PS4 and Xbox One when it came out. Because the Switch version came out almost a year later, I believe.
Yeah. I missed the O. Kung. Oh well, still made it.
Yeah, still did it. All right. Funky's Flights,
Would you like
Barrel
to do...
Canyon. Let's go.
I'll let you do Barrel Canyon.
All right. I'll try. I know I missed something.
One thing that I want to point out about Donkey Kong Country, because I had built my dad, this was one of my family's favorite games as kids. And I built my dad, like one of the Raspberry Pi Retro Pi setups, where, you've got all the Super Nintendo games and everything.
And I'm dead.
Nice. And he was like, Donkey Kong just looks weird. And I was like, what do you mean it looks weird? He's like, it just doesn't look right. It doesn't look like it's supposed to. And finally I figured out it's because he hasn't seen it on anything other than a CRT.
Oh.
So he has no idea that this is what Donkey Kong looks like. And it's not exactly pretty when it's not just a little bit fuzzed out from a CRT.
Wow.
So I thought that was really interesting.
It is, yeah.
So the graphics may look a little weird as far as modern games go. But at the time, and on the hardware, this looked really good.
On the Game Boy Color, it was a different story, but I can appreciate it now. But
that's like
as a kid,
that's like me comparing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on the PS2 and the Game Boy Advance.
Sitting under a light for hours trying to beat this level. Man, I went through so many batteries. I'd steal them out of my parents' remotes. They'd be so mad.
I don't blame them. You know how mad at my kids I would be if it was worth a try. If all of our remotes were just suddenly empty.
So how do you feel about, other than we have our gripes and complaints with Nintendo Online with just basic features that it lacks. How are you liking the game setup now? All right, I'm ready.
Nice. This right here is cool. Me and you being able to play remotely, but not play a multiplayer game is very cool. Big fan of this. Especially because we can play single-player games and just toggle who's in control.
Oh, crap.
That's how me and my brother-in-law are playing Resident Evil 4 on the PS5. He has his PS4, and then I, have it booted on the PS5, and as long as the internet's in a good spot, then, we'll just take turns being in control.
I think Nintendo's game selection's gotten a lot better. When it was just NES, it was
oh. It's going well.
It was okay. I enjoy going back sometimes and playing those games, but no, it's definitely worth it now. And me and my brother were already talking about
that was impressive.
That was replaying Ocarina of Time together because that was the game we grew up playing, which I can play that game. Oh, that was interesting. Oh, I thought I was okay. You took over. Because I can play that game for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh,
yeah. This level always is. It's not the hardest, but it definitely.
It's the one that's going to get us. What's your favorite level in this game?
The water, that water one
really?
We just went through.
I would say me and my sister both have the same answer, and that's the minecart level, the first one.
Oh god, that one is cool.
That is one of my all-time favorite levels.
So there have been rumors of a new Donkey Kong game. Retro was hiring, because Retro did Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze. There's talk that there could be a new 3D Donkey Kong game, which I think if it was done in the style of Kirby and the Forgotten Land, maybe even Mario Odyssey, it would be really, Or if they went all out open world Donkey Kong, that'd be super cool.
That would be really interesting.
I'm okay with a new
I guess you better
2D
say
Donkey Kong game, but I would like to see another attempt at a 3D game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, let's go take care of Very Naughty's lair. This dang banana beaver.
Man. Beavers and bananas.
No, it was this sound right here. This.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's faster.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's up to you, buddy.
All right. Prepare to watch me fail, Phil.
Yeah, that noise right there.
A nice big old Nintendo banana.
Welcome to the Monkey Mines.
Oh yeah, this level.
It's been a while, but I want to see if I can do the mine carts in one
Yes, you have to.
shot. See if my old school skills hold up.
That was always the hardest part of these games, or I mean, any. I wouldn't say every 2D Super Nintendo game, because Mega Man X kind of fixed it with the wall dashing, the wall scaling, but just getting the jumping right on time.
I'm gonna switch to you and see if you can get that ostrich thing behind us.
Oh, I thought
That's
you
okay.
wanted the G. My bad.
Do you normally confuse G and ostrich thing?
Yes, all the time.
I just let you finish it out. Here we go.
All
This is Minecart Carnage.
Yes.
Here we go. I got this. I'm watching. All right. You're in control. I'm ready. Let's do this. Here we go. First try. Let's see if I can remember all the moves.
Man. All right. And
We're just gonna edit that part out. That was my downfall. I got too greedy.
yes, that little clump of banana.
I'm curious why more games didn't do this right here. You don't see a lot of 2D side-scrolling rail games.
That's the hardest one. That gap. Another thing that I really like about Donkey Kong Country is just the layering, like the back, like just the backgrounds and. Oh my god. It's a glitch. It's the game. I'm done. I'm going back to Fortnite.
I'm gonna yeet that barrel.
At least we hit a checkpoint.
Did we?
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Alright, well, you're taking it over.
We have enough. Five more tries. Let's go.
Right here. Okay. This is going really well.
Be sure in the comments to let us know what games you would like us to stream and review next. Speaking of review, what would you give Donkey Kong Country? Oh, is it my
0 out of 10.
0 out of 10.
You know, it's actually kind of funny because I don't remember much about the second half of this game because I've played the first half of it so much.
Did you play any of the other ones? We did it! Oh, Kong! There we go. Now we just gotta get to the end.
I know there's one
Just
more
not gonna-
guy right there. This last part is so dumb. There we go. Oh, that cheated me. You saw that, right?
Yeah, I did. And you wanna know something sad?
What?
I thought I was playing that.
Did you really?
So I was actually hitting the...
Man, you were doing
Buttons.
really well.
Thank you. Review Donkey Kong
All right,
Country.
we'll pause it there. Honestly, Donkey Kong Country, and I did play 2 and 3, and neither of those hold up for me quite the same way the original does, for whatever reason. This is still just one of the greatest couch co-op games of all time. So, I mean, this is a original Donkey Kong Country is still like 10 out of 10 for me. Top Donkey Kong game of all time.
And couch co-op game out of everything, like every other game, or would you say just Nintendo?
Out of the classic games.
Classic. Okay.
Yeah. Because, I mean, there's some others that it depends on who I'm playing with. If it's like my wife or, somebody who's not super into video games, this is something super casual. You can sit down and play, honestly, with a lot of people who aren't really into video games. Like, it's a really accessible game.
Yeah.
What's your rating?
Yeah. I still enjoy it. I mean, I'm really, in all honesty, you'll know this when we play more classic games. I like a majority of them, especially the Super. I mean, I never had a Super Nintendo growing up, so I played ports of the games. But I'm really happy this service is here because just reliving the moment of playing Donkey Kong Country again is, it's just a great game.
Nice.
So, and I'm with you. It is, for how old it is, still being able to have a game where, like, here's a controller, let's play, or do something like this is really nice.
This game will be 30 next year.
I'll be 30 in
the big dirty
2
30.
weeks.
Nice. Dirty 30 for both of you.
Yes. Me and
You're going to have a
Donkey
Donkey Kong themed birthday?
Yes. I'm going to have a big banana. All right, that wraps up our episode. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check us out every Thursday on YouTube only now. We are no longer doing Spotify or Apple Podcasts because we get more traction and we can do more with YouTube here. So, see you guys next week.
And remember, it's dangerous to go alone.